Mr. Ackerson, you were convicted of domestic assault by way of a plea. You were placed on probation. Your probation officer, Matthew Huff, has filed a probation violation petition alleging that you violated your probation by continuing to use drugs and alcohol or refusing to test on demand. We had a arraignment on this in December. On the 17th, he pled not guilty. We set it for hearing today. The allegation, we haven't seen much of this, is that you continue to test positive for cocaine. And then a no-show. So this takes a while. That was in October. You otherwise were doing okay. Your probation officer's recommendation is that we continue the probation and you get a substance abuse assessment and do 2 weekends in jail. Mr. George, what's your client's position here?
He's prepared to admit the violation, Your Honor.
All right. I'm sorry it took so long. If I understand, this is very similar to a case they had this morning where someone was on probation for a domestic violence. Same sentence, 31 days, credit 1, 30 days deferred. He continued to test positive for alcohol. In fact, I don't think he ever stopped. And we had, I don't know, a bunch of alcohol. These were cocaine. He let the first couple slide, but they kept happening. And frankly, that was under our radar. We didn't understand that that was an issue. So, Mr. Ackerson, you do have a right to have a hearing on this where testimony must be taken to establish, at least beyond probable cause standard, that you violated your probation. Preponderance standard. You also can acknowledge the probation and then we'll figure out what to do. So let me repeat the petition that we talked about back in December. I think this might have been adjourned for a flood or something, but we ended up with today. The allegation is that you violated Article 8 of your probation by failing to abstain from the use of drugs or alcohol. What he's recommending would be to continue the probation and allow you to still get the deferral if we can get past the finish line. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. And do you understand that by pleading to this, you'll be giving up the right to have a hearing on this? And I will accept your plea if it's given voluntarily, and then I'll decide what to do for the sentence. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. In the summer and fall of last year, see if Matt is here yet. He was in Judge Patterson's courtroom. Were you using cocaine?
Yes. Sorry.
When did you last use it?
Been probably a month or two ago, sir. I've been clean ever since after our last meeting.
All right. So last use was in December of?
Yes.
How'd you stop?
To be honest, I need to grow up. I just stopped, sir.
Mr. Huff was in Mr. Judge Patterson's courtroom, but he's joined us now. Matthew, I advised the defendant of what the allegations were. He admitted with the advice of Mr. George. You'd been watching this cocaine thing in the summer and fall, and we discussed it. It was under our radar. I didn't understand that that issue was out there. His contention is that he hasn't used since we were here in December and has stopped using. How's the testing been since then?
Testing records would back that up. He's been doing well.
Is your recommendation still 2 days in jail and continue the probation?
I think my initial recommendation was 4 days in jail, 2 weekends.
Yes, two weekends is what I meant.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Mr. Akers has shared with you, but he's now gainfully employed at a pretty well to do job over at Waste Management, and I think he's lining a career up for himself there if he wants to take care of his family. So I think continued probation with a couple of weekends is appropriate.
He's not working in Kalamazoo anymore.
No.
All right. What are you doing at Waste Management?
I'm a driver, sir.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That pays well. Do you get a lot of overtime?
Yes. Yep. When I'm officially trained, I will be working 50 hours and at least 5 days a week.
All right. Mr. George, anything you want me to know?
I think, I was just looking back at the report, and I don't think there was anything that indicated this type of issue in the initial plea. If there is any silver lining, it's that this happened while he's still in the course of probation. We can get that issue addressed. I think Matt's recommendations appropriate under the circumstances. I went over that with my client. We'd ask the court to adopt.
Ms. Canfield, you got any thought on this?
Your Honor, this morning's was a little bit more egregious. Although still a substance, there were 9 positive tests there, and even after coming to court, really no attempt to stop drinking in that case. In this one, it appears the defendant has admitted that he needed to grow up and stop using, and did do so, which is verified by the further testing of Mr. Hull. So at this point, I do believe that imposing the 2 weekends of jail is appropriate sanction with continued probation. If there are any further positive tests, and there's another PV, I'd likely recommend revocation of the deferral. So I know that he's aware he's facing that, which would make employment difficult in the future if he were to have that as a conviction.
How many sessions of the classes is he through? Excuse me.
He isn't, because of the nature of he was getting his truck driver's license. There's a schooling that goes through for that takes, I believe, and Mr. Akerson can correct me if I'm off on this, but I believe it takes about approximately 4 weeks. So
Well,
we
we
needed
have
to find out his schedule.
So it is CDL. Well, let me ask you, Mr. Ackerson, how many weeks of classes have you been through?
I start next week, sir. It's been ongoing. They want me to go to Arizona for training. I told them I couldn't leave the state because my daughter, the newborn. So now they said it's going to be in GR. So I was supposed to go to Arizona 2 weeks ago. I told them I couldn't leave the state.
All right. Well, you would have had to do a drug screen to get hired there, and you
Yep.
must have passed that.
Yes, sir.
All right. We've had some flexibility here, but I really want you to complete this. This program started last August. As soon as you get through with that, we could discharge you from the probation. All right, probation is continued. Four days jail, credit 0, to be served on weekends. What's your shift time?
Between sometimes I start at 4 in the morning, sometimes I start at 5. And I usually end between 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Well, we usually start the jail weekends at 7 p.m. on Friday night, and then
Okay.
you get out 7 p.m. Sunday night. So I'm going to start it at 7 p.m. this Friday night. Might as well get it over with.
Okay.
February 13, 2/20. The other conditions of your probation remain in effect. I would like to see you get the benefit of this deferral. You got a new child. You got a new job. You don't have time or money to spend on cocaine. All right. Thank you. Give that to him. Take that to the jail this Friday night at 7 o'clock. Your probation is continued. I'd like you to be successful in this. The guy this morning I just pulled the pin and he went straight to jail and he lost his deferral. I'd like to see you come out the other side of this.
I agree, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're good to go.
And Your Honor, we did execute a waiver of rights there.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Bush, which case are you here for?
There was an email that you asked me to, I got a copy, you wanted me to connect with you?
From me?
That's what my secretary, I just walked in from Qantas and she said you wanted me to join on Zoom.
I didn't send anything. John doesn't have a connection to any of these. I wonder if Judge P sent one. We've got some zoning violations from TJ Reed, if you'd like to get in on that.
I would respectfully pass on that. No, I'm not sure. I just walked in the office and she said you had sent me or copied me on an email to hook up.
No, I didn't send it, so I'm not sure what it was, but thanks for your quick response. I appreciate your willingness to jump in, but I don't have a case for you right now.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Anybody send something to John? All right, well, we're double booked.